What's going on YouTube, and we back with another video giving you another tip or strategy to help your marriage or your relationship.
Hello, I'm back, and we have taught you some great stuff so far.
Yeah, we have. There was the how to talk to your partner or spouse.
There was how to talk to someone about your feelings. Yeah, all the feels.
And one of my favorites, how to negotiate with your partner or with your spouse.
So now we are back with another video to make sure that you are getting some good strategies in your relationship.
So stay tuned to this channel and this video as we talk about aversive strategies in your relationship, how to identify them and how to remove them. Stay tuned. So again, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to Faith Like That, a Christian ministry that is dedicated to helping you live a clean life for Christ and to live that life abundantly. We want you not just to have faith, but to have the applied faith working in your life, the kind that can move mountains even in your relationship. We're so excited that you're here with us today. If you have not done so already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and also you can connect with us in the comments or our other social media outlets. We would love to connect with you in all these places. And please stay tuned to the end of the video so you can get the entire strategy and all the strategies and any action steps to go with it so they can really be effective in your relationship.
All right, so in relationships, we generally start out wonderful. It's lovely, everybody's in love, they are kind to each other, they listen to each other, they want to please each other. That stage is what we call the newness, or what I like to call the new. So you in the new, you at the real new.
Okay. But as the newness or the new wears off, the problem is that we begin to see this person for who they truly are. And sometimes some of those things we thought were cute before ain't that cute no more. Or we find out that they have a value or a belief or a behavior that doesn't so much align with who we are or what we like. And now we got conflict in our relationship.
This is important. During these times is where you really need to come together and figure out what you want the culture of your relationship to be and how you want to overcome, when the newness wears off. When that new wears off, what is the culture of our relationship and how are we keeping it healthy and thriving?
So again, today we're talking about aversive strategies, because when the new wears off, that's when you can really see a lot of these aversive strategies start to creep into a relationship and take hold in there and really be evident that they're chipping away at your relationship and making it not that healthy.
What is an aversive strategy? Somebody said something. So let me tell you what that is. That is a strategy that causes you to shame or guilt your partner about the way that they handle things in your relationships, or when you want them to do something that they're not necessarily doing. But you're using guilt and you're using shame
to get your way.
That doesn't sound healthy to me.
So there are a lot of aversive strategies that we could talk about, and which I don't want to give you no ammunition, but at the same time, we don't have time in this video. I know y'all ain't gonna stay all day to watch it if I talked about all of them. But I do want to cover some types of strategies or sort of categories that they would fall into. And there's about 8 of them I want to talk about. We're going to talk about them real quick.
So the first one is basically called discounting. When you're discounting your partner's feelings or emotions or what they are bringing to the table in that moment, I call it the swerve or the bye Felicia, because you could be in a situation where maybe you see that there's something that needs to be done, but you are living 2 separate lives. I don't know what he's doing all day. He doesn't know what I'm doing all day. But we know that this task needs to be done and nobody has done it. So I'm thinking to him, like, you've been home all day. I've been having to run these kids around town, getting stuff, appointments. So why you didn't take care of it? That's like that, never mind, discount whatever he was doing, because to me, he was just sitting at home all day, when actually he probably was at home working on the business. He's an educator. He was probably handling things, but I didn't see that. Or if I was at home, he was probably like, you just been at this house with these kids all day. You could have done this. Our kids are at the age where that they can really do things on their own. So like, what were you doing? Kind of discounting what the other person was doing and not even asking about the day and just coming in like, you should have got it done.
Coming in hot. So the second strategy is the walkout or the abandoning strategy. I call it the walkout. And this one is popular among men. That when we get upset or a little bit passionate or in our feelings, a lot of times we don't express that well or aren't able to express that in words. And then we feel like we're losing an argument with women who express a little bit better than we do, especially with their words. So then we get upset and say, I'm leaving.
Won't even say the thing. Just walk out.
We walk out.
Number 3 is called threats or being canceled. Yes, you can cancel your husband or you can cancel your wife. We're in the cancel culture right now. So it's either you're threatening them, giving threats, or counseling them. So what that looks like is, okay, can we get real? We're talking about sex, y'all. We may be doing some things or we may not be doing it at all. So your husband or the wives, because some of us wives like to get down, can come in and be like, well, since you ain't giving me what I need, I can go somewhere else and get it.
And then that is a heavy threat. And sometimes we even see threats in the form of, I'm going to tell your mom, I'm going to tell pastor, or these kind of things about what you're doing and threatening to do that if you don't do things my way.
Okay, I'm going to tell all the people how you've been treating me, and they going to cancel you. I don't even need to cancel you.
The whole church going to know.
Okay? But we don't want to do that, and we're not glorifying that.
So the fourth strategy is blaming. That everything that happens in a relationship or my life is never my fault. It's always their fault or always your fault. And you are holding me back. You're keeping me from where I want to be. And everything is because you messed it all up.
That's rough. The next one is crazy talk or belittling. And what I like to call, he said, coming in hot. You coming in hot. You ain't really thinking about who you talking to. This is the love of your life. This is your husband. This is your spouse. This is your wife. But you coming in just talking crazy because you sick of it. You trying to shame them like you don't even you ain't worth nothing. Okay? I can do this on my own. I don't need you. We talking crazy. You don't bring value to this relationship. So if you want me to do something, you gonna have to do something. Coming in hot. Now, we know that we can go there, but we have to keep in context who we are so that we don't go there. We don't want to be talking crazy to your husband, especially in front of people, which we've seen it happen, and I tell you, it is very uncomfortable.
And this is something that our culture really is bad about. And it usually starts in the new stage. It starts with little stuff, little names, little things we do.
Cute.
And it's cute and it's funny. But then what happens is that becomes the culture of your relationship. And you really have to be intentional about the culture you're setting in your relationship because it's opening the door for a lot of things that get a little bit more uglier when they get older.
Yep, and it's not cute anymore. And it's actually hurtful. And it's annoying.
So number 6 is called guilt tripping. That when I want you to do what I want and not what you want, and maybe you said you really don't like it, then I go into the woe is me, and maybe it's because I'm a terrible mother and a terrible wife, and things would be so much better. And remember the last time you did this, it was so bad, and I just guilt trip you so bad that until you just say, fine, let's just do it.
I was gonna say something, but moms are really good at that. I haven't really seen men do that one. I think that was geared towards us. I guess I got to take ownership over that one. I don't do that to him, but I do it to the kids. Number 7 is called the switch up. So it's kind of like, this could be a catch-22, okay? So this could be a good thing. This could be a bad thing. But when you come into the relationship, the new part, and you expect the things that you thought was cute, this is how I've always been. So why are you switching up? Like, why are we trying to act like this ain't how we been moving or how we been doing things? And now it's all of a sudden it's a problem. And now instead of really expressing your feelings about what you have grown out of. I like that. What you have grown out of in the relationship, instead of expressing that maturely, you go to switching up. So now you all that can encompass those things where you're starting to belittle your spouse, or you're starting to shame them and guilt them, all of those things can come in that switch up because you are now in a space where you have outgrown certain behaviors in your relationship.
So this also takes the form of sort of a derailing of sorts, to say that my partner or spouse is doing certain things or has certain values or projects going on, but then I will easily derail what she has going to put the priority on what I have doing, or what my projects and my wants and my interests and hobbies. And I'll even go as far to almost sabotage and derail her progress to make sure that I'm progressing and I'm doing good.
Right, because we knew what he wanted from the jump. We knew his wants and things, and we should have been focusing on that. We can't focus on something that I just added, right? Derailing.
And the last strategy connects back to the threats, but this is not a threat anymore. It's actually happened. It's called, or what I call, the snatchback. That this is big among women. I don't know why, but when you don't do what I want, then you don't get none no more. For you married couples, and even if you're not a married couple, I know a lot of people aren't married, and I don't want to be in your business of what you do, but there is such a thing called a snatchback. And when you don't do what they want, then they snatch back the treats that they got that you like to enjoy. And it's not really a good thing to do, to withhold that affection, to withhold that intimacy. And I guarantee you, women, listen to this, that if you let that dude be physical with you and intimate with you, you can almost get him to do anything that you want. But when you withhold it, you're making it hard on yourself.
And also, men, that could be in reverse to men as well. Like sometimes, I know this may sound bad, but some people depend on their husbands for money. They can withhold money and take that back and be like, well, you're not getting this because you're not giving me this. Not that. Scratch that. That sounds like I'm trying to do sex for money, but that's not what we're talking about.
Not what we're talking about. But just think about this. This is a win-win situation. Men and women. That if you're a woman, or not a woman, but if you're a woman and you want your husband to do certain things, then you need to drop the hints. And when he actually does those things, let him be intimate with you. Because he will start to connect the dots and say, hey, when I do this, then I get this. And I promise you he will start to do it more. But at the same time, men, you have to listen and you have to be attentive to the needs, because if you're meeting the needs, they will be more intimate with you.
Okay.
Win-win situation.
Win-win. Now that we have covered the counterproductive strategies, these are not productive strategies, these are aversive strategies. This tip and strategy is to identify and remove these from your relationships, from your mind, from your thoughts, but it's also good to know what they are so that you can recognize when you are doing these things. So, with that being said, how do you keep track of this? With a fighting log. Sounds crazy, right? But we are all trying to be reflective and grow and stay together in our relationship. So it's very important that we do the work, and this is part of the work.
So let's talk about that fighting log. So on this log, you should be writing things down. And I've said before on the channel and other videos, if you've seen them, that you should be keeping a journal of some sort, a notebook, binder, some pieces of paper that you're keeping together where you're writing some of this stuff down. Yep. So this time you're writing down a fighting log, and you should commit to maybe a month, 2 weeks, not fighting and actually keeping this log. So on this log, you're going to write down what was the actual conflict that we got into. The next thing you write down in another column is how you actually responded.
What aversive strategies did you use in that conflict? Were you guilt tripping? Were you talking crazy? Were you swerving? Bye, Felicia.
Were you snatching back?
Write it down.
And now the last thing you need to write down or even plan this is, were you wrong? Did you use an aversive strategy? If so, do you need to go back and fix it and say sorry and repair some damage that you made?
Come on, we gotta say sorry. Y'all know we don't like to say sorry. You be like, my bad, and move on, but actually mean it. Say you're sorry. And when you do that, this law can help you be very authentic in your apology, because you can know what you did wrong and how you plan on trying to fix it. So I'm sorry for guilting you into doing that thing.
You know what, baby? I think I may have used an aversive strategy the other day. I just want to say I'm sorry. I wrote it down on the log, and my bad.
You know, Easy.
It really helps if you and your spouse are committed to this test and writing this down.
Yes.
So I'm glad you're watching the video and you're doing this, but I don't need you to at least show them this portion so they know what's going on and have them do it too.
Thanks.
So your goal in the relationship and with this strategy is to make sure that you keep a set of core values and beliefs that's going to keep your relationship healthy. I'm going to share those 3 things with you right now.
All right, so conflict will happen. Now that you have these strategies and all of these things that we have been talking about, you are ready to deal with the conflict. You're ready for it. So we know that it's going to happen. Now we can implement these things because we are ready when it does happen. So that's 1. 2 is we are equal partners in this relationship. So what he says matters, what I say matters, and then we will go from there. We have to hear and listen to each other's wants and needs and what we're really trying to accomplish in our core beliefs for our own relationship. And that goes for any coupling that you are in. And the last thing is that we make decisions together. Solutions are created together. Coming up, if it's not a log that you want to do, or if it's something that is more digital, or whatever it is that you want to do it together. Make sure every decision that is made moving forward is together with your partner, with your equal half. Make that culture of your relationship healthy and thriving. I like thriving. I don't know why. I want to thrive in your relationship.
So thank you for taking time to spend with us and watch this video today. Please commit to a time frame of trying out that fight log and trying to keep these core values in your relationship and identify and remove the aversive strategies that may be chipping away or attributing to your unhealthy relationship traits. So again, I'm so excited when you take time to spend with us. Please, if you have not done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, or hit that like button if you're still here. I know that you liked it.
All right, but before we go, we just want to give a shout out to Lockstar for creating these wonderful short shirts. As you can see, we are both locked. You know, we're a little locked family up in here, and the shirt says, back then they didn't want me, now I'm locked and they all on me, except for back then. You know, he always wanted me. Just kidding, but go to Lockstar. Is it Lockstar DFW on Instagram? Get you a shirt if you are locked. Again, thank you for watching us, and until next time, be safe.